Hi everyone, it's Diane. Okay, so I didn't get to work on my Alice in Wonderland journal yesterday. I had given everybody forewarning that we had carpenters coming to work on our staircase, and I thought they would be here for a few days, but they have to order some more lumber, so I have a little bit of a reprieve. I thought that I would do my Alice in Wonderland journal video today because I don't know when they're going to be back. And it might be a last minute thing. It's probably not going to be for a week or so, but who knows? It could be tomorrow. I don't know. So anyway, I'm at a point in the journal, and I'll show you all the little bits that I did do off camera. But I'm at a point now where before we can do too much more to the pages, it's really time to sew the signatures in. So I've already clipped my first two signatures, and I'm going to do the last one with you in case you're new and have never done one of these before. I am, here's my disclaimer, I am by no means an expert at this. I've learned from watching other YouTube videos. My first one, this is a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, and the first one I did, I learned by watching Gail Augustinelli. And so if you don't understand this, or you want some clarification or a different explanation, any of these journal creators have used this method, and you might be able to follow them along better if that would help. Never hurts to check out other videos anyways, because I always learn something new. Rachel at Roxy Creations, great. I've learned a ton from her. Amy at Crafty Cat, Barbara at 49 Dragonflies. They all have great tips, and they are way more experienced than I am. But nonetheless, I like to do this, so I'm going to share my journey with you. And then I'll put it in my Etsy shop and hopefully make enough to cover my supplies and do another one. So this is our third signature to the Alice in Wonderland journal. Not all of the pages are the same height, and that's good. That's how I wanted it. So what I have to do first is make sure that my signatures are all right side up and that I have them centered where I want them. It would be really bad if I sewed this into the journal and they were crooked or upside down. Let me see, what was this little thing? Oh, this was just an altered paper clip. I can take those out for now. In the first couple signatures, when I was clipping them together, if I had ephemera that we've already worked on and I knew that's where I wanted it to be, I just paper clipped it on the page for the time being. But that one actually was a little bit hard to clip. It's a little thick just from having those few items in there, so that's why I figured it was really important to maybe get this done today. So I'm just going to line these up. Is this something that I wanted specifically? Not really. We're going to have 3 holes, and I'll show you on the template. There will be one in the center, and then I came in 2 inches from the top and the bottom. So for short pieces, like our envelope, or what else did I have in there? Maybe it was just envelopes. I want to make sure that it's going to get caught in one of my stitches. If I can't get them all, I want to make sure that it's at least in one. So I hope everybody's doing well and staying warm. I know we were at, last time I checked, we were at 0 here with a wind chill of -12, I believe. And so, see, like this one, I'm going to stick a paper clip in here just so this doesn't happen to fall over while we are stitching and I end up poking a hole through it. Because I know I want that journal card to stay on this page. So I'm just going to make it, I'm going to cheat a little bit for myself. How's that? Because I like the colors of all that together. So I know that's where I want it to go. Yeah, so our construction guys were here yesterday and worked on our staircase and told me that as soon as they came, they realized that the stair treads that they had been given were cut on the wrong end, which means they were finished on the side that was going to go against the wall and rough on the side that would be showing against the spindles. So they knew they weren't going to be able to do that, but they did go ahead and work on the trim and the landing and other little parts of the staircase. So that was a loud day with all the saws and the wood clanging and doors slamming. Okay, so I have this first part lined up the way I want it. I use just clips and make sure that I clip my pages down to hold them in place. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing on this side, making sure that my center is tucked in. Will I remember that that's going to go there? Probably not, so I can't remember from one day to the next what I'm doing. So let's just paper clip it on here. Yeah, so they're put back together enough that we can walk on them, but I certainly wouldn't go bouncing up and down on them. And I'm a big chicken. I don't like stuff to be wobbly. So I will be very happy to get this part of our remodel project out of the way. Okay. Oh, we don't know what we're doing with those yet. Our teapots. And I think I'm going to glue that one on there, but I couldn't do it until we had the signatures in. Because if I were to glue this on here now and try to line it up, when I go to sew, I may have this too close to my seam and end up poking holes in it or making it so I can't use it. Okay. So let's clip these ones together. I forgot to grab my book so we could start poking holes. And I just fold my clips down so that they help hold any of the pages that maybe were not quite as long as the others. So there's our third one. Our second signature, remember, is just craft paper. We'll have to decorate that. And our first one, which was getting a little thick. Okay, the cover. So I did, if you remember, I had this like soft, I don't even know what this is. It was in a package of wool scraps that I had bought a while back when I was doing a felting piece. So I had no idea what this was or where I would ever use it. And I decided that it might be nice to make the pockets on my inside of my front and back cover. So I just cut a strip and I layered a piece of lace over the top. I like this color of red with it. It's not red, it's sort of a muted red. And then I machine stitched around the edges to hold it in place. I was going to machine stitch up the center, but decided I will just stitch it in with the signature. Since we have this soft journal cover, and if you missed it, this is an Amazon package that I covered with fabric and then just stitched around the border. And they are in the Alice in Wonderland journal playlist. So if you want to go back and check any of those out, you'll see how we stitched this together. Made myself a little template, and this is only so we can poke the holes the same distance in on the cover in each of the 3 signatures. I just took a piece of chipboard, this is like from the back of a notebook or whatever you have, and kind of figured out 1.5 inches probably would work, but I made this 2 inches just to be safe. I It'll give me a little bit of room in between each signature. So I cut this at 2 inches wide, drew myself a line down the center at 1 inch, and then split this in half to 1/2 inch and drew another line 1/2 inch from this end and 1/2 inch from this end. So now I have 3 rows where I can sew my signature. And then I knew that my journal was 10 inches long, and so I cut this chipboard to 10 inches. That one was easy to find the center because that would be 5 inches. And originally I was going to split the difference and make our top and bottom stitching at 2.5 so that it would be centered. But it seemed a little bit too far away from the edge of the journal, so I moved it to 2 inches. And I think that 1/2 inch made a little bit of a difference for the better. And so all we have to do now is I'm going to find the center of my journal cover. Get this out of the way because I have still a million things on my table. I did decide on my wax linen thread color. This is kind of like a black, but it's got some red through it, and I like the way it blended in. And so, learning from Gail, we're going to take our wax linen thread and make it 3 times the length of our journal. And I don't know how she figured this out, but it works for me, so I do it. Thanks, Gail. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and we'll have to do this 3 times, but I have my needle on that one because we're sewing in 3 signatures. So I thought if I could at least get through this today in 1, 2, and 3. And I pulled out all the little bits and bobs that I think will be good for either journal cards or large tags or whatever. Any of the nice scraps from the Stamperia book or from the digital of Alice that I had. I just set those all aside, but there again, before I start backing these and decorating them, it's not like I can add them anywhere because my pages aren't in here yet. Sorry, little hoarse again, but you know, that's weather in winter. What am I doing? Oh, center. Okay, so how do I want to mark my center? Because this fabric is not going to show very well with a pen. Well, I have a chalk marker. Let's see if that will do it. And I'm just going to try to find my middle, and then I will line that up with the center line on our little template. Because, you know, this has been stitched and shuffled around, and that might work. Okay. This piece doesn't want to crease for me nice. It's not playing nice. Oh, maybe because the pocket's on there, huh? Yeah, maybe. I'm just going to make some marks here. And it doesn't have to be perfect, remember. Junk journal, no rules. You can make it however you want. Alright, that should give us a little bit of a lining up spot anyway. Oh, I didn't leave myself any clips for this. So you see what I mean? I just want to center this up on the journal and hold it in place so it doesn't shift around while I'm poking my holes in there. Just because I don't really trust myself to hold it in place. I think that I would probably move and shift it, and my signatures would end up getting sewn in here diagonally. I think I am pretty well centered. Okay. I do not have a book awl, and so I use either my, this is from Stampin' Up, this is my Take Your Pick tool. It has a pokey end on one side. It also has a little spatula on one side. And another side has adhesive for picking up sequins and stuff. So I either use that or my other little pokey tool right here, depending on how thick my papers are. I've not had a problem using those, and I just haven't found a book awl, or I don't think of getting it until I need it. Grab an old book here. Now, Amy at Crafty Cat sells book cradles. She makes them on her 3D printer, and then you can, it holds your signatures in place this way, so you can poke your holes right down in there. I don't have that, so I just make do with what I have. Now, where my 2-inch lines crossed over my 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1/2 inch marks, I made myself, see, is this being blurry? No. I made myself some dark little spots here, and we're going to poke through the journal cover, and I have layered underneath, because I don't have that cradle, just a couple of old paperback books. And that's what I poke my holes through. And I can't really tell if it's gone the whole way through. Yes, it has. Wonderful. One. Whoop, I pulled my point out. Oh no. Well, I guess that one went through. Lovely. It's like that little screwdriver I have that you can change the tips on. So that probably would work too if I really needed something different. Sure my book stays under there because I don't want to poke a hole in my table. And yes, that is, I did get the side sticker because of the pocket. And then we'll go to the sides, poke those. Now when we go to do the signatures, we're only going to follow the center dots down each one. I feel the hole. Let's hope that when we go to sew, I can see it. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's a little bit light right there. I think I'll be able to catch them all. Okay. And so now our holes are poked in our cover. Okay. Let's do our signature. And one way that this can be easier. Let me get my scoreboard. I took a class last year on making a book, and we hand sewed the binding on it. I'm going to score on my 1-inch line so that I can fold this. I need to put that one on. I have one left. I was going to put it in my Etsy shop also so that I can do another one. How's that? I think it did. I just want it to fold in half on that center line so that I can fit it down into my signature. But in that class, we made a really pretty stitch on the outside of the journal. So, I mean, it's visible. So you wanted it to look nice. And used a template for that also. Kind of the same way I just did this one. You know, cut it to the width of our signatures that we had made. And that's where my blueberry paper had come from when we were doing that. I dyed some of my own paper. Okay, now, because I measured this with my journal, I do have to make sure that I have about the same distance from top and bottom to my pages, because this isn't quite as long as the journal is. And I think what I'm going to do is just make a little mark where my center page of my signature is, so that I can line that up on the next two signatures so that they'll all have the same center. Because I think my center page are all the same size. We're going to squish this down into the center of that signature in the fold. I hope you can see. And then poke holes right through our signature from the hole that is in the template. Trying to go straight up and down so that it will make our hole on the fold of the signature and not come out of page. And if we're a little off, we're a little off. Happens. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. I'm just going to use my pokey tool. I want to make sure I went the whole way through. Go, hopefully not stabbing myself. 1. I was sending my husband pictures of the staircase yesterday, what they had gotten done, because he's out of town right now. And I'm so bad. I love the feel of paper. I like the feel of fabric. I like wood. I love the feeling of it. Okay, I'm going to set this one aside for a minute. We'll get on to the second. So here's me rubbing my hand across the ledge that they had built. And yes, there was a rough edge, and I felt a sliver go in my finger. I was like, oh my gosh, that hurt. So I had to sit last night and try to get the splinter out of my finger, which I can do in a heartbeat with my husband or my sons or whoever. But it was in my right hand, and so I'm trying to get the splinter out of my right hand using my left one, which is sort of like a wasted appendage sometimes. Okay, those are lined, my little marks are lined up to the edges of my center page. Poking a hole again right through the hole in my template. But I got it out. And I didn't even cry. I was thinking, you idiot, that's what you get for rubbing your hand across the wood. You know they're working on it, but I thought it was all the way done. Again, I'm just going to make sure I am the whole way through. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 2 signatures. And the third one. Yep, they were all the same. I thought I had the centers the same. I love the center page of this one at the tea party. I think it's cute. 1, 2, 3. You can keep your template and use it again. You may have to make some little marks, you know, if your pages are different sizes. And actually, if I could have found my one from my journal class, I probably would have used it, but I think I have it over with the bookmaking stuff. Because I do have 2 more chipboard covers already cut out, measured and cut. I just haven't had the time to, really, I just didn't want to start another project yet. I'm working on this, working on our Roxy's Journal of Stitchery, which is so much fun. I love it. I get to sit when it's later in the evening if we're watching TV or something. I'm very restless. I'll watch a movie, but I really find it very hard to just sit there. I have to be doing something. So, excuse me, this slow stitching is working wonders. Love it. Okay. Now, here's a little decision also. So I got my Alice in Wonderland charms. And we would need to decide. Oh, it's on the teapot too. If we're going to hang charms on the inside or the outside. These, I think I just got these on Amazon because remember I can't find the ones that, maybe I never bought them. I really thought I did. I don't know. Maybe I didn't. Who knows? So they're a little bulky. You know, like this rabbit is pretty dimensional. So if I want to use him, I don't think he's going to work on the inside. So that means if I'm going to add charms, I'm probably going to put them on the outside of this one. So I need the ends of my thread to be on the outside so that we can hang charms later. Which I think is backwards from what I usually do. I almost always tie them in the center. So this is something new for me. Yeah, so I'm working on my Journal of Stitchery. I have a penny rug that I had started a long time ago. It's embarrassing to even think how long ago. Where'd my needle go? And I'm going to start with my third signature first. My last one. And so I need to find the third hole in the middle. We're going to start in the center. Oh, look at that. It poked right through there. How lucky am I? And then line it up with my holes in my last signature. That's how lucky I am. Not. Yeah, and so I know my design team project is going to be coming up for Stampin' Up, so I'll have to work on that. I need to get a sympathy card made today. And I might have to take a clip off of here so that I can get these on a page at a time. I needed to go through all of the pages in that center hole. And this is just a big tapestry needle. It holds the wax linen thread very well. I think you could use other threads or twine or whatever you want to. The waxed linen, oh, right there is where I'm getting hung up. Excuse me for 1 minute while I pull this over a little bit towards me to get it lined up again. The waxed linen helps when you go to tie it. It's going to help it not come untied. Now, which one am I stuck on? Can't see, I can't see. No. On that one. Oh, right here. Missed this one. Oh, here, you don't rip my paper. I will get upset. Oh, the last one. Yay! Sorry, it's not always this fidgety. Get in that center hole, please. Is it in there? I see it. There we go. Oh, okay, so let's hope the other ones will go a little bit faster than that. Remember not to pull it the whole way through. So now we're going to go out the top and get a find right there. Yay. Hip hip hooray. Am I doing this the right way? Yes, I think so. Yes, I am. Okay. I'm worried about, because I'm doing this backwards with my tails of my thread hanging out the outside. I was worried. Oh, see, that one went right in. Okay. So we came up the center, out the top, in at the bottom. Just make sure I got all my, I'm in the right holes. 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Sorry, did I hit you in the head? I'm sorry. Ouch. Now that was not nice. I must be going through something extra thick on this. I don't remember what I have in here. Well, the first signature ought to be a blast then, because this one doesn't have much of anything. Come on, good grief. Let's get rid of some of these. Now that we have our holes created, these are not quite as important. Helps to hold the pages for you together, but what are you being stubborn about? There we go. And then we're going to go back through the center hole out, trying not to split our linen thread. When it comes out our center hole, We want the tail of the linen thread to be on one side of our long string that we made, and we want this one to be on the other side. I just want to make sure that I have these pulled in here and I don't have any loopy loops. Then I can even them out a little bit because this one is much longer than that. So, I don't know which one I'm pulling. There we go. Oh, I did split it. Okay, that's all right. I see it though. I can pull it through. When I put my needle through, I put it through the first one. That's why it's being tight right there. Okay. There we go. Now we want one on one side, one on the other side. We're going to pull these really tight. Up, hit you in the head again. And then tie it around that string. That is the length of the journal. Tie it in a knot. And our first signature is sewn in. And we can leave these on here or cut them because we know we're going to use charms. I think I'm going to leave them for right now. Okay, that's our first one. Second signature. We're going to do it again. Yay, fun. Where's my needle? Where's my needle? Second piece of linen. Okay. Starting from the center. Well, it goes in there really nice and easy until I start pulling it through a bunch of paper, huh? Make sure you have this turned right side up. See, I saw pockets to glue here too, but again, I was sort of holding off until we got the stuff sewn in here. Oh, okay. At the center. On the top. Find the center hole on our cover. Clear down to the bottom. And in from the bottom. Find our bottom hole of our signature. Pull it right off. I wish you would stay closed. Thanks. Keeps flopping over in my way and I can't see what I'm doing. Okay. the bottom. And then we'll take it back down through the center and hopefully not split my thread this time. You may have to play around with it a little bit, like I wanted that other tail to be a little shorter. Make a new one. One on one side, one on the other side. I should have pulled it first. Pull it tight. Make sure our signature is in there nice and strong. Tie a knot and tie a knot. Glue those down straight away so that they don't get torn. And then our first signature, one last time. And I'll show you two. Are those my holes? I think they are. Yes. What I kind of thought of for the front of our journal here, because I want to make some kind of a closure. I don't know that I necessarily want just to have a band to tie around it. I kind of would like to find, I may have to go look for something now because I don't have anything that makes a closure. But I also want it to be flexible enough so that if whoever gets this adds, you know, when they add things to the journal and make it fatter, you still want it to close, right? You have to think of a way to, oh, down the bottom, what was I doing? I was thinking about a closure and not paying attention to my, those clips are getting stuck over there. This takes a lot of effort, I'm telling you, I'm breaking out in a sweat. Oh, that one went right through the center. Perfect. Okay. Let's get the needle off of here and straighten out my thread because I don't think it's pulled tight. I can't do that yet anyways. Ding dong, you have to, oh, there. to go back down my center. I am thinking way too far ahead. I have to stop that, huh? Put my tail on the outside and go back down the center hole. Trying not to split my thread. Tail out of the way. I think I missed it. Now I can pull that off. Pull it tight. One on one side, one on the other side of our string. And tie a knot. And now our signature is bound in its cover. There we go. We have a journal. And my signatures have a little space in between. That will help as we add our decorations. So I think just to keep these out of the way, I'm going to tie them in a loose knot, and hopefully they won't give me a hard time when I go to take that apart. Okay. All right, let's see where we're at. I don't even know how long I've been on here. I forgot to look and see what time I started. That's terrible. Try to keep it to a normal, does this tell me how long I have been recording? I don't know. Sorry guys, I can't tell. That's just silly. It should tell you how long you've been doing a video here someplace. So you don't lose track of time and just go on forever. Because I can do this forever. Alright. So here's where we're at. We have this. I made, I took that chipboard Alice and I glued her onto a piece of that soft red foamy stuff. And I thought, we'll add her to the front cover. I'm not going to be able to stitch this on here, or I would have done that already, because of the chipboard. So we'll add it with Fabri-Tac when it comes time. I thought it might be prettier to have like a piece of lace or something underneath it and make it a little bit more, stand out a little bit more. I want to be careful though that I don't get anything too close to the edge, because I do want to make a closure that's expandable. So this is just going to sit here for right now until I see what I have over in my stash. If maybe I do have an old doily, I don't know. That might be pretty under there, huh? A doily? We'll look. Okay, so we have a pocket that will hold a nice big old fat journal card. When I pulled the striped one out, I was thinking, oh, that's got to be for the cat. There's no doubt about that. So we'll be able to stick a couple cards even in here. All right. Mr. Bunny can get glued on here now. And we already have a journal card in here. I might put a tab on top. So, I did forget to fill my art glitter glue. So it might come, it seems like when the bottle starts to get empty, it like overflows out the top. It doesn't make sense to me, but that's what happens. It's magic. So, was I gluing this? I think I am going to put this one on flat because this was just a painted paper bag, which means that it's not the strongest paper in the world. It is only a sandwich bag. And I think if we leave it open as a pocket on the back as well, that pulling a tag in and out of there numerous times will probably tear it. So we'll just glue it flat. But here's the hard part now that we have our signatures sewn in. Now my book is puffy. Oh, right there, I see my little scraps. See, I had some little scraps. We could have punched a tab out for this. Be careful with the glue on here because on black paper, glue's going to show no matter what we do. Let me grab my scrappies from this. We'll just do a quick jot through this and try to get some of the stuff glued in here that we already have decided is staying there. Ooh, how about red velvet on him? Let's see if I can just cut a little circle. Oh, good. This was giving me a hard time the other day, and I think it's because, oh, I'll show you why. It should have given me a hard time. Good Lord. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm just going to fold that in half, which you can't even see. But I just punched a circle. Fold it in half. Add some glue. And put it on the top of that little bunny card. I've been looking for, along with probably thousands of other crafters, the whale tail punch to punch out tabs, and I just refuse to pay that much money. So I'm hoping one of these days when I'm at a flea market or something, I find one sitting there that nobody really cares and I can actually afford it. Anyone who's doing card making and journaling, they care, and they don't want to make $1 million on them. So I wish them all the best. I hope they make their $1 million off of those punches, but it won't come from me. Okay, put him in here, and we have our first one will be done. Yay! This was our little pocket that we had made last week, and this is just, I'm not doing anything to these playing cards to alter them, I don't think, because they have little paragraphs from the book. I am real. If I wasn't real, I shouldn't be able to cry. So I don't want to cover that up. But we may add another little, remember this had 1, 2, 3, and if we glue it on 2 sides, it would be a tuck back here, which is what I think we're going to do. So this is going to be heavy enough to hold my book in place, I hope. So let's just glue across the bottom. She says. Up to the side. And then leave that open for a little tuck. As well as if we wanted to add any other decorating up there, which I don't know. Just don't know. And then the little playing cards will fit in however many we want to use. Okay, so that was that one. I wish my cardboard would quit sliding. This one, we're not doing anything yet. This one. Oh, here's the other thing that I did make. This is where my circle punch was giving me a hard time because I already had glued acetate on the inside of this. And if you remember, these are, I have another one in case I do one for another signature. Yeah. I know I do, because I just pulled it out wondering if I wanted to start adding paper to it, and I thought we better do the signatures next. Oh, maybe I put it in by the scrap paper then, because I was gonna scrappy paper it. Let me see. These were those photo cards that I had some of. Yep. These thingies. And so you could make them into a greeting card, but I chose just to use them. I've had them forever. And so I thought that by putting the acetate in here, it's a nice spot for a large journal card, which I don't think I backed any of these yet. Did I get one that I liked for this or not? Oh, I think I did. I don't know where I put it. Oh, goodness. Too many things. Okay, so we'll just stick Bunny here so that you can see then. See, I had the other one all trimmed down and the corners were rounded, and I think I had a tag topper on it, and it will fit right in there. And I didn't want a tag on there or a tab on it so that you could pull it in and out of here easily. Then we'll glue this onto the page because you can't write on the red heart page. It's too busy. And then when you flip, you have all this writing section. Okay. So take this out because I know that tag's here somewhere. And I don't want that one in there. I do want this one to be flat. This isn't really coming out very well. Or maybe it really is just getting empty. That could be it. Should have filled it up. I was hoping to make it through one more. I think we're good. There it is. There it is. Yeah. Where you been, glue? So I'm going to try to keep this a little bit closer to the edge so that when we flip it open, on here flat. I'll try to see if I have that tag. I thought I pulled it out when we were sewing. Maybe it's still, maybe I clipped it inside here somewhere. Okay, what's this next one? Oh, these were just, I haven't really done anything with those yet. I think I forgot to round one corner. Corner rounder. Corner rounder. Oh, I see it. And these already have a decorative back, so I don't really need to add anything to them. This one has a plain white back, but we might want to add a little cluster or something on the front of it. So there's two. We had that little cluster here and added some inky on the back, some stamping. I don't know what I'm going to put on this yet. I don't know. Oh, we're going to add the snippet to the edge of this one. Let me grab my tacky glue, since my art glitter glue is a little bit running empty. And if you remember, we made this just using masking tape, stuck little scraps of paper on there, and then I ran it down my sewing machine with a little zigzag. And I'm just going to add that to the end of this black and white striped page because I thought it was pretty. There. And it was okay to see some of the back because it was on red tape. There goes all those tags. I'm not ready for you guys yet. You have to wait your turn. And we can save these. Well, the one piece we could save. Wonderful. And don't know what we're doing here yet, right? There's another one that, another stripe one we could put a Kit Kat on. Yeah. Ultra paper clip. This one is actually just fine as is. May put something down here on the corner. This is our other, but I didn't really want to put it in the same signature. But I like the black dots with it, and we have to put something on here. So this one I had just stuck a little bit of a tag in there. Oh, this one has a tag on a tag. So actually that might work better behind the little tuck spot. before I just dropped the lid. It's amazing. Amazing. There it is. I see it, I see it. Okay. What else do we have? It needs glued in. 20 card. Oh, and I did take one of those book plates and I covered up that where it said this book belongs to, because I just didn't understand why it was on the back. Yep, so we have to make something to go in here. But it should be a little easier now because this one has a journal card in it. I probably should have snipped off my edges here before I sewed this in, but thought of it too late. We'll work around it. We needed to glue this and I guess I need to decide too, do I want to keep it tall like that, which we did do on the red one, I believe. No, I made them shorter. That's probably something else I should have done before gluing it, right? It's okay, maybe I can get my... I have a feeling that this video is very long, but you can always pause and then come back and watch it when you have a little more time. That's what I do. I just want to score this a little bit so I don't make a mess of it when I fold it under. Oh, that worked. Or so it appears. We will see in a minute. Yes, it did. Oh, don't do that. I didn't lay it on its side. So I think after I get this one glued up onto the page here, we will end this video and be ready to go again. As long as I'm not stuck without stairs, we can continue Wednesday then with our normal journal journey. And if I don't show up, you know it's because they have my stairs blocked again. So, not because I don't love you. I want to make sure it glued on the side of my linen thread and not on top of it, because I knew I had trimmed it. I just didn't know if I had trimmed it enough. It appears that I did, just barely. Good grief, that was close. Close. Should take a couple of those paper clips and put on there to hold those in place until this glue dries. Yeah, so other projects I was working on besides my Journal of Stitchery, I had done a video for the first 5 swap items from 49 Dragonflies Challenge. And then my other 2 swap partner envelopes arrived. So I have 2 more 5-item challenge videos to do. I think one of them, the girl from Ireland. Thank you guys both for sending so much stuff. My Ireland swap partner sent me a bunch of Happy Meal stuff in with the 5 items, and so there's a lot. It's wonderful. I was so excited to get these things. Okay, so let's let this stuff all dry, and we will continue next Wednesday. In the meantime, I'll look to see if I can find something to adhere behind Alice on the front. And maybe I'll try to get a lot of those journal cards backed if they need it and get all my corners rounded. So those will all be ready for us to start adding into the different pockets or making pockets if we need them. So until next Wednesday, thank you all for being with me, and I hope you are inspired and do some little crafting fun here. Alice is already getting kind of chubby, and we haven't even got to the other signatures. My closure better be very expandable. Everybody have a wonderful week. If I don't see you on Friday, which is paper crafting fun on a Friday, I'll be back. Hopefully. Thanks, everyone. Bye.